Hello! We are sitting down today with Dr. Andrea Dorris from San Diego Sports Chiropractic, who will be running in the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon here in just a couple weeks.
Hello, thank you for having me.
She has agreed to sit down with us and discuss her experiences of training for a marathon and answer some questions that may help any of you who are planning or would like to run a marathon as well. So Dr. Andrea, could you please first start by telling us what inspired you to run the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon this year?
Well, what inspired me to run the rock and roll was just to be active and stay active. I tell my patients every day to pick a goal, whether it's a 5K, 10K, marathon. Pick something, train for it, and you'll be much healthier for it. So just to get something gets you out the door and training for will make you healthier in the long run.
Well, that is true. Now, can you tell us what has been the most challenging part of training for this year's Rock and Roll Marathon?
The hardest part is definitely the time commitment. Most people will probably agree with me, getting up in the morning early or staying after work and going for a run, waking up in the morning on a Sunday or a Saturday. Just the time commitment. Once you're out there, you love it and you enjoy running, but just getting and scheduling the time to go out for your long runs is by far the hardest part.
I imagine that would be tough. What have you enjoyed most about training for the Rock and Roll Marathon this year?
What I've enjoyed most is exploring San Diego. I typically like to run at a different spot every time I go and run. So I've explored, of course, Bonita or Balboa Park. I've been down to Bonita in the golf course in Chula Vista area. I've done La Jolla, or doing Cabrillo National Monument is fun. La Jolla, of course, Mission Bay, Mission Beach, all the different harbor islands downtown. It's fun. It's just you try to find a new place to run, whether it's Mission Trails, and I enjoy that.
Do you have a favorite place to run?
Mission Bay is probably my favorite because I like running on the grass, and you have an option to run a different location every time you go.
Now, you obviously see a lot of running injuries here at San Diego Sports Chiropractic. I think you told me runners of all levels are sort of your specialty. Being as you treat running injuries pretty much daily, were you able to keep yourself injury-free, or did you develop any injuries while training yourself?
Well, I would love to say that I was completely ache and pain free, but I definitely had my little aches and pains. But I was definitely injury free. I have been haunted kind of with a hip injury from college, running in cross country and track, and knowing how to prevent it and doing some exercises to prevent it. And then if I kind of feel an ache and pain, I know exactly what to do to treat it to make myself feel better. So being able to maintain myself and make sure I don't injure myself is, of course, always a good thing. So I didn't have any injuries, but of course, who goes on a 20-mile run and doesn't get a couple little aches and pains? But mine typically don't last very long, and I usually go to work the next day.
If you could start your training all over again, what is one thing you might do differently to make the experience better or easier?
I would probably find a consistent running buddy, essentially, to run with. I run with all sorts of different people and running with myself as well. That way it makes it very fun to have someone to run with, but having someone a little more consistent running the rock and roll with you would be fun as well.
And lastly, Dr. Andrea, what is one piece of advice you can give to others who are planning or would like to run their first marathon?
Advice I would give someone would just be make sure you have everybody on your team complete. Have someone that motivates you for your runs every day. Have someone run with you during your runs, so whether it's your running coach or having a running buddy. And then having a medical team with you as well, so whether it's like a chiropractor, just kind of stretch you out and make sure everything's all put in place. But I would definitely inspire people to have lots of people who are on their team motivating them to reach their goal.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Andrea, for your time. We all wish you the best of luck here in just over a week. If you would like to send Dr. Andrea any words of encouragement, you can do so at health@sportschiropracticsandiego.com, or just visit our page on Facebook and send her a shout out there. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. Thank you everyone so much for joining us today, and have a great and healthy day.
And thank you very much. I appreciate it talking with you.